and I'm jumping in live today in the Roofing Salesman page. And the reason why I'm going live is Kevin and I were live yesterday talking about roofing sales and just about anything that you had on your mind. The problem was that I was loading the questions from my phone, and my phone wasn't loading the questions. So I'm going to hang out here for a little bit this afternoon and answer your questions live. Anything you want to talk about. You want to talk about roofing, you want to talk about the industry, you want to talk personal stuff, you want to talk leadership, man, whatever you want to talk about. I want to spend a few minutes live here today and just help you guys out if you have any questions. So that's what we're doing. I'm just going to, again, apologize. I don't know what happened. I was watching my phone for your questions and your comments, and they just never came through on my phone. And then when I finished the live yesterday, I went back on the page and looked, and my gosh, man, there was tons of questions. So if you're here and you can hear me, shoot me a like or leave a little comment there and let me know. Throw anything in that you want to talk about, because I want to talk with you about roofing sales, about the roofing industry, about leadership, management, advertising, marketing. You tell me what you want to talk about. Put it in the comments section, and I will riff on it. I'll give you, you don't even have to book a phone call with me, man. We're just going to go live, and we're going to do it right here in the roofing, on the Roofing Salesman page. So let me know you're here. Say a little hello. Say something. I'm going to put these on so I can hear myself. I ask you a question. What's up, Bryce? How you doing, man? Bryce, can you hear me okay? I don't have anybody verifying whether they can hear me yet, so let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me, man? Like throw a 1 up, throw a 2 up, throw a 3 up. What are we going to talk about? What's going on, Brian? What are we going to talk about today, guys? Hey, Mikey. Okay, you can hear it now? Okay, super, man. Thanks, dude. Let me give you a like. Like. Mikey, you get Chick-fil-A? Yeah. Awesome. All right, what do you guys want to talk about? I'm here to talk about anything you want to talk about. We can talk about sales. We can talk about marketing, advertising. We talk leadership. We can talk. Thanks, Roderick. We can hear you. I'll give you a little like there, man. We can talk about what's going on in your business, what's going on with your company. We can talk anything you want to talk. I'm here for you, and I'm going to stick here for a little while and try to give you some good quality, some good value. But you got to ask the question. So throw it in the comment box. Throw a topic in, and we'll start riffing. Chick-fil-A. My son just got in from school. He's eating Chick-fil-A. He loves that stuff. All right, come on, guys. Don't be shy. If you don't ask anything, I'm going to jump off, because why am I here if you're not going to ask anything? Anything. Throw anything in the comments box. I know you guys. A lot of y'all are smart alecks. Throw a smart aleck comment in the comment box. Let's go. Let's talk. Let's get this conversation started. Don't make me look at this camera awkwardly. All right, Bryce. Would like to touch a little on hiring an experienced sales manager and salesmen versus new hires. Okay, that's fantastic, man. I could riff on that topic for quite a while here. So I'm assuming, Bryce, you own the company and you want to hire uh, sales manager and salesman versus going out and hiring new people. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously, the downside to bringing in somebody who's already been experienced in the industry is they have a way that they like to do things. That's not a bad thing for you if you're not sure what you would like them to do. But at the same time, you're bringing somebody into your company that's going to have a leadership role, a leadership position. They're going to speak on your behalf. So you have to be really clear. If you bring a sales manager in, they're already experienced, they already know how they're doing things, and they start doing things the way you don't like doing things, well, you've already got a guy in your business, and he's already got authority, and he's already talking to your salespeople, and things can go south really fast. So it's real important to vet those guys before you allow them to have your sales team, allow them to have say over your production, allow them to have a business card with your name on it, or your company name on it. Real important to vet those sales managers. On the other hand, if you go new, like you bring somebody up, I have a rule that the roofing company owners know, and that's simply this: you never make your best salesperson your sales manager. And the reason for that is because your best salesperson immediately quits selling, and now they start managing. And if they were doing 200, 300, $500,000 a year in revenue, and now they start managing people, that money goes away. Maybe not all of it, but a good portion of it. And it doesn't really matter if you say, well, I'll make you a sales manager, but you've got to continue your current pace of $500,000 a year or $1 million a year, whatever they're doing. Because the whole reason why you're getting a sales manager is because you can't do everything, and it divides your time, and you need somebody to help. And if you can't do everything, then that sales manager definitely can't do everything. They're not going to be able to keep up their existing sales numbers, their sales revenue, and manage salespeople too. So when you're pulling somebody from within your team, or you're bringing on a new hire, what you really want to do is you want to bring somebody in that you can mold and shape, somebody who is maybe not the top salesperson, but somebody that's always there for the meetings, somebody that's always in contact with you, somebody with a great attitude, somebody that will check with you before they make unilateral decisions. You want to have somebody that's loyal to you. It's a lot easier to lose a guy that's doing a $200,000 a year than it is to lose your $1 million a year producer. I hope that helps. Roderick says, starting out, hate knocking on doors, opinion on just focusing on buying leads. Yeah, absolutely. You can buy leads all you want. There's all kinds of third-party lead vendors out there. Buying leads is definitely an option. However, if you buy leads and you don't close the leads, it won't be long before you're out of business. You have to be able to close leads. Things like Home Advisor and eLocal, networks. I mean, there's many lead providers out there. If you can get enough quantity of leads from them and you can close at a high enough percentage, you can definitely make it. The problem that most guys in the industry are saying right now is that, man, they're sending me leads, but the quality's not there. Some of these people, they're not even answering the phones. When I drive by the house and talk to them after they haven't answered the phones 10 or 20 times of me calling, they're saying that they never filled it out, or they filled it out 2 years ago and they already got it done, or they were just trying to win a free pizza, or they entered a contest for an iPad. You have to really be good on your quality of leads. If you get bad leads and you're not knocking doors, you're going to be out of business in a hurry. What I like to do, this is really what I like to do, like to have a quality long-term lead generation program. Get an agency. I have a side of my business that generates leads, does search optimization, great guys that do that work for company owners, and then mix the leads with the door knocking. It's a lot easier to knock on a door after you've been invited into the neighborhood through a lead that's a legitimate lead, somebody that called you and said, hey, would you come out and give us a free estimate? It's really easy to go in that neighborhood and say, hey, I was just at Mrs. Jones' house, And I asked her about you, and she said it'd be okay if I come over here and introduce myself. You know, when you're going in warm like that, rather than just going in door knocking and, you know, trying to cold call, that's really difficult. So I think you should mix leads with door knocking. I think you should do them both. Obviously, nothing is as inexpensive as door knocking. You know, if you just need to generate the cheapest lead possible, you know, go to a neighborhood that has a roof going up and start talking to the neighbors about the roofs. That's the easiest way to generate a lead. If I was to start over today, in other words, you know, I didn't have my network, I didn't have my connections, I didn't have a website, I didn't have any kind of leads, I didn't have anything, and I didn't have any money, which I was in that position before. And the only thing I had was like a few bucks and some gas to get out in the neighborhood. The thing that I would do is I would make a flyer, which is what I did, and then I would start hitting the doors. And I would depend on my ability to talk to people and get up on the roofs and do the inspections. That's what I would do. You can't beat that lead cost. People say gas is expensive, and yeah, gas is expensive. But if the only thing you're doing is driving to the neighborhood and spending all afternoon and early evening in that neighborhood and then getting back in your car and driving home, gas isn't really that expensive. You need to think not so much in miles per gallon, but in miles per, you know, how many miles do you get per lead? If you drive 10 miles to a neighborhood and then 10 miles back home, that's 20 miles. Maybe it's a gallon of gas. But if you generate 10 leads, that's 10 leads per gallon. So pretty cheap to do that if you're going to knock doors. Brandon McKenzie, what's up, Brandon? Let's work together, man. Me, you, let's work together. Warm leads, yes. Levi, good advice, Mike. Hey, I appreciate that. Levi, let me give you a like here too. What's up, Zach? How you doing, man? See what else we got. Absolutely, this is Roderick. Absolutely, I'm at my best working my builds. Almost feels like you know me. Yeah, cool. Listen, you know, a lot of guys say, well, I don't have any builds going up today. That's okay. Don't worry about it. You know, these are things that I talk about more in depth in my Roofing Salesman University, which, you know, it's still open for individual members. You don't have to buy the big company membership. You can still get an individual membership. They break it up into 3 payments. But, you know, you don't have to knock your builds. It's possible to knock somebody else's builds. The whole idea around a build is that it draws the attention of the neighbors and lets them know, hey, there's something going on here. Maybe I'm missing out. FOMO kicks in. And, you know, they're looking out the blinds going, what's going on over there? You know, they're watching the shingles get delivered. They're listening to the music, you know, the crews playing music during the day and the nail guns are going off. Hey, it doesn't have to be your roof that's going on. It could be somebody else's roof. You know, drive to Home Depot in the morning and follow the trailer out to the job site. Start knocking on the doors around there. All you need is activity. If I was starting over, and I told you this, I would literally, the best way that I could do that if I didn't have any money and also had was a little gas and some flyers, is the way that you would make it better. Instead of going into a neighborhood where there's nothing going on, go into a neighborhood where there's at least one roof going on, because that's another variable that increases your odds of success. And you just talk to the neighbors. Hey, I noticed that I'm sure you noticed by now, your neighbor's getting a new roof today, and I just came by to check on you, see if you've had your roof inspected. Okay, let's keep going here. I'm Roderick. Brandon. Hey, dude, Brandon, thank you, man. I love doing the videos. I love going live. I love helping guys out. It's my, I was in a desperate situation once. My back was up against the wall. I didn't have any money. I didn't have a way to pay my bills. What I wanted to do is I wanted to be a youth pastor, right? But church didn't pay much, and the church I was working at, you know, I was the one buying the pizza. I was the one paying for kids to go on the trips. And so I had to have a job that supported my, I don't know, the pizza that I bought the kids. You know, I had to have a job. And the only thing that I was really good at was sales. somebody introduced me to roofing sales, and I came from a place where I was really struggling. And so now when a company's trying to get built up and they're trying to build out a sales force, or when a salesperson contacts me and reaches out to me on one of these live videos, I want to help you. I want to help you because I was there. And I get plenty of business. I'm booked up all the time, and I travel, and I coach and I mentor companies. But when I go on live here and somebody reaches out and says, hey, I need help, I just want to give you my best. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate it, man. All right, Bryce, let's see what we got here. Thanks, great advice. In addition, what's your stance on hiring a person to run production? This last year, I had my top salesperson doing some production stuff, but I feel we may have missed out on some sales because of it. The main issue is he's the only one I can trust to get things done and keep things moving on the production side. Trust is hard to gain in this industry. Yeah. Here's my 2 cents on trust. Trust is the most valuable commodity on the planet. We are living in a trust vacuum, which basically means nobody trusts anybody. I got the news going on right here. I'm looking at my TV over the top of my monitor, and our politicians in Washington are duking it out. They don't trust anybody. My wife was talking to her sister about stuff going on at the school, and this side doesn't trust that side, and they're having fights. Nobody trusts anybody anymore. It's really hard to find somebody that you can look at and say, I trust that guy, or I trust that person. Now they're out there. So as a company owner or as a salesperson, one of the most valuable things that you can do is you can build your level of trust, because trust cuts through rejection. Trust cuts through noise and clutter. Trust cuts through busyness. Trust cuts through attention. One of the fastest ways to get attention is to be trusted. If you're the trusted voice in your community, in your market, people will listen to you and they'll turn everybody else off. So you have to be trusted. And hiring a production guy, somebody that you can trust, is a big, big deal. Because not only are they going to be managing lots of money, but also they're going to be putting your name on the line every time they send a crew out, a painter out, somebody to fix the fence, somebody to patch the drywall because your guy stepped through the roof. Trust is the most important thing. So, my advice on hiring a production guy is hire somebody that has the aptitude to manage multiple things, but more than anything, you want to hire based on character. Hire based on integrity. Hire based on your ability to trust them. They could be the greatest roofer on the planet, but if you don't trust them, it doesn't matter. They could be somebody that has all the degrees and certifications and they've been in the business 30 years. But if you don't trust them, it doesn't matter. You've got to find guys that you can trust. Listen to the people that you can trust, because trust cuts through, all the noise in the marketplace. Trust is what gets you in front of customers. Trust is what gets those customers calling you back. Trust is what gets salespeople to come and work for you. Trust is what gets you referrals. Build trust beyond anything else you do in this industry. Build trust. Hope that helps, Bryce. Levi, my Oklahoma friend. Oh, thank you for those hearts. I appreciate that. Josh, amazing advice. Josh was out at Planet Fitness this morning. I couldn't sleep, so I was up pretty early, but Josh was up early too, working out at Planet Fitness. That dude, man, he puts in the work. Brian Reagan, Dallas Better Business Bureau. If you guys are not with the Better Business Bureau, get with the Better Business Bureau. I know a lot of people say, well, the Better Business Bureau is this, the Better Business Bureau is that. And yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe the Better Business Bureau is a scam. Maybe the Better Business Bureau maybe they just want your money. Maybe all those things are true. Maybe you know something that the rest of the planet doesn't know. But here's one thing I know about the Better Business Bureau. People trust the Better Business Bureau. And if the only reason why you're not joining the Better Business Bureau in your local area is because you don't want to pay the $500 that it takes to get accredited with the Better Business Bureau, man, you're stepping over $100 bills to get to $1 bills. You're leaving a lot of money on the table. And, you know, I don't believe for a minute that the Better Business Bureau is dirty. I don't believe for a minute that the Better Business Bureau as a whole is, um, I don't believe they're a crooked organization. I believe the Better Business Bureau really and legitimately and honestly wants to help consumers build trust. So, you know, get with your Better Business Bureau. It doesn't matter what you believe. You know, you can believe the moon is made of cheese, but if your customer believes the moon is made of granite and they're only going to buy from you if they believe the moon is made of granite, the moon is made of granite. You may not like the Better Business Bureau, may not believe in the Better Business Bureau, but your customer, the prospects that you're trying to convince, believe the Better Business Bureau is an indication of trust. Now, you can fight that all day long if you want, or you could just join the Better Business Bureau. Come on. This is a no-brainer. We're practical people, aren't we? We're not stupid. We're practical people. We work what works. We do the things that make us money. And I just got through, you know, rattling off a big, long thing about why trust is so vitally important. Why not partner with a Better Business Bureau? Brian Reagan's on here. You can look him up on Facebook if you're in Dallas. If you're not in Dallas, find your local Better Business Bureau. Join them. Man, that's the strongest endorsement I ever gave for the Better Business Bureau. Did I go too far? Maria, did I go too far? What's up? Maria knows about building trust in her community. She's great at it. Levi, you like my haircut? Thanks, man. So the lady that usually cuts my hair, she recently had a baby, and so her days off are kind of scattered. I went out to Supercuts. You ever been to Supercuts? They got this MVP thing. I didn't know what the MVP was, but anyway, she cut my hair. I'm missing hair right here and right here. There used to be hair right in these places, and there's not hair anymore. So she doesn't have to cut as much as she used to 10 years ago, but I did the MVP. She washed it, felt great. She used this shampoo, made me want to come back and get my hair washed again there, like great smelling stuff. Supercuts. Bryce, great advice about knocking. Once you get a job going in the neighborhood, people start thinking maybe my roof is damaged too. Yeah, and you want to take advantage of that momentum. You know, once people start thinking about their roofs, it's really easy to get them to keep thinking about their roofs. But when you walk into a neighborhood and there's no roofs going on, nobody's got a roof done in 6 months, and you're trying to break open a neighborhood and jump up on roofs, and nobody's even worried about it. Nobody's even thinking about it. They haven't heard nail guns. They haven't heard, you know, a crew with their radio on playing music. They haven't seen dump trailers in the neighborhood for a long time. I mean, you're trying to work harder than you actually have to work. Just find the neighborhood that's got a roof going on. And like I said earlier, if it's not your roof, find somebody else's roof. You know, find your favorite competitor's roof. Because I can promise you, if you're out there, this is funny. If you're out there knocking on the doors and the salesman that sold the job is not out there working on the doors, and usually they're not, you know, they tell their boss, oh yeah, I knocked in the neighborhood all day long. And, you know, I'm in the neighborhood. I got a roof going on, you know, one of my neighbors down the street. And I've been watching that all day long. Nobody's out here. Nobody's knocking on the doors. Nobody's talking to anybody. And I mean, if you're paying attention at all, you know where the roofs are going on. Just go to where the roofs are going on and start there. If you don't have any money, just have a drop or two of gas, drive to the neighborhood where the roofs are going on. Follow the crew from the dump. Follow the crew from Home Depot. Follow them from ABC Supply. Free shout out to ABC Supply. Hey, let me give a shout out now to my platinum partners, Burrell Roofing in serving the Atlanta metro area, and also ASAP Roofing and Construction. Good people, very good people. ASAP is got offices in Indianapolis, San Antonio, all of East Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth. Kevin Burrell's got 3, and I think he's opening a 4th office here pretty quick in the Atlanta area, out towards Athens as well. So thank you, Platinum Partners. It's because of you that I'm able to do this stuff, and thank you. So let's see, Kyle, I talked to you the other day by private message. You're going to be doing a speaking event soon. I wish you the best on that. Levi, I'm giving these likes as I go. Hey, Maria. Jose, Mr. Sanchez, how you doing, man? We need to get a date on the books because I'm coming out to your office to work with your team. We need to get a date on the books for February. Also, I'll be with Jimmy Barrett and Curtis on the north side of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex up towards Denton on Monday, the day after the Super Bowl. And we're going to be doing an advanced sales training. You can always go to the Mike Coday page and check my event schedule there. I try to put several of them up just so you kind of know where I'm going. If you want more information about booking me to come out and speak to your team, you want to go through my growth kit for roofing company owners only. It's expensive, but it's worth it. You want to get your team in my Roofing Salesman University? Hey, if you want to talk about anything, just hit me up. We'll talk about it. All right, Bryce, that helps. Robert, man, I missed everything. Robert, I'll leave this in the group so you can go back. Andy, what's going on, man? Andy is famous with GAF. You know, they use his face because he's so pretty on GAF signage at the IRE. Wasn't it the IRE? I don't know what it was, but Andy's also the guy, he put the roof on. Shaq had a treehouse built. You know, the treehouse guys on cable TV, and Andy and his team, they put the roof on. Andy's like really cool dude, man. GAF guy. Also one of the dudes that sent me a hat. I always remember the guys that send me hats. Andy. All right, Levi. Let's see here. I'm going to keep going through these things. There's a lot more in here than I thought. BBB leads to work. Brian Reagan, the Dallas Better Business Bureau guy, says thank you. That's what we're all about. We do a ton of work behind the scenes to prevent scams. That's right. Brian, and when you come out with the BBB for contractors to prevent scams from homeowners, we'll all sign up for that program too, because in my opinion, there's more homeowners that scam contractors than contractors that scam homeowners. But I'm still going to give you a like because I like you. Mike Abernathy joined. Mike, dude, you're a beast, man. Thanks for jumping on. Levi says image is important. Josh, hey Mike, what's some advice that you wish someone told you earlier in your career? Could you spread some knowledge my way? Advice. Okay. Here, Josh, let me give you something, man. I thought that when I was going into roofing, that this job was about roofing. Now, contrary to what the manufacturers want you to believe, and I have toured with GAF, and you know I love their product, and I always promote their product. But contrary to what the manufacturers want you to believe, contrary to what the supply houses want you to believe, this job has very little to do with the product of roofing. I've always said, you know, nobody wakes up in the morning and says, man, I got to get my hands on a fiberglass mat slathered in asphalt and sprinkled with granules. These things don't sell themselves. If they sold themselves, the manufacturers would bypass the supply houses. They would bypass the roofing companies. They'd bypass the territory managers. They'd bypass the regional VPs, and they just have a warehouse where people would line up and come buy their shingles. But the things don't sell themselves. This is not a product game. Is it important to have product knowledge? Absolutely. You should have product knowledge, especially if you're going to be selling to engineers. And there is a way that you sell to engineers that we talk about in Roofing Salesman University. There's a way to get to them. But if you're going to be selling to the vast majority of the public, man, they don't want to know about your roof. They don't want to know about your shingles. You know, they want to know about the color. Does the color look pretty? And then after that, they want to know, do I trust you? You know, so invest more in yourself as a leader. Invest more in yourself and your ability to persuade and influence people. Invest more in yourself and your image. Invest more in yourself. Brian. I'm going to tell him what you said. Brian, Dallas BBB says, my check's in the mail. That's funny. Invest more in yourself. You know, if you have the ability to persuade and influence people, if you have the ability to move markets, if you're the kind of guy that's trusted and you walk into a situation, you don't have to have all that knowledge about the product. What you have to have knowledge about is how to relate and move people. And I've been through the trainings, I've been to the seminars, I've been to the programs. You know, I'm the guy that reads the spec sheet on the wrapper. Like, I will read a wrapper just so I know everything that's on the wrapper. I've read the small print on the warranties, the Golden Pledge warranty, which, by the way, the last time I checked, it says that this warranty is not subject to the United Nations, which comes in handy when you're selling people that are hardcore Republicans, NRA people, saying, you know, we're never going to submit our warranty to the United Nations. They love that stuff. They eat it up. Know how to move people. Know how to influence people. Don't tell me about the granules. Oh my gosh, man. Some of these guys are going off on their product knowledge. And as soon as they start talking product knowledge, the mind of the customer goes that way. They're gone. They're out of there. And you're still standing at the door talking, and they cut you off a long time ago emotionally. They're not even listening to you. Even if they're nice enough to stand there and nod their head, they're not listening to you anymore. Know how to persuade, know how to influence, know how to get in the mind of the prospect and create the image of something that they want to buy. People don't want to buy shingles. They want love. They want happiness. They want acceptance. They want family time. They want to be happy. They want to be popular. They want to know things that other people don't know. But they don't want no freaking shingles. I said freaking because I'm a youth pastor. I try not to. Like I tell Clinton JoJo at ASAP, I'm trying to cut down on cussing. Every once in a while it slips out. Sorry. Sorry, Lord. Josh, does that help you, Josh? Work on you, man. Work on your ability to lead and persuade people. That's primarily what we focus on in Roofing Salesman University. Yeah, it's expensive. I get it. It's expensive. But we really focus on how to persuade people using what is most persuadable to them on an individual basis. Rubber beams. Tea tree is the bomb. I love it. I think that's what it was. It was that tea tree stuff, man. They were rubbing it on my neck. Matt Andrews. Matt Andrews is an RCO Elite member of mine. We were just setting up his lead program in Cincinnati. And I think that we've got that totally going. So we're good there, Matt. Wesley. What's up, Wes? Mike Schmidt. Mike Schmidt is a heavy hitter. Let me tell you about Mike Schmidt. Mike Schmidt takes pictures on the roof and smiles while the adjuster's marking up the roof. And I think he just does it because he likes to okey doke the adjusters, and I love it. I'm not a big I'm not a roof guy, roof selfie guy. You know, once people know that you're a roofer, you don't have to tell them you're a roofer every day for the next 100 days by taking a selfie on the roof. But Mike okey dokes the adjusters while they're chalking up his roof, so it's kind of funny. It's pretty cool too. Matt's, hey man. Andy, yeah, dude. Jose Sanchez gave me an amen. What's up, Trent? Trent Jones and his brother Trey. Man, if you guys want to do some serious hunting, you need to hook up with Trent and Trey. Those guys know how to take groups of people out and show them a good time. And man, they come back with the goods. I mean, they don't go out on hunts and people don't get stuff. It's Trent and Trey. Those guys, they know how to do it. They're out in East Texas. Remind me, guys, where you take folks. I know you go up towards Oklahoma, out towards Wichita. I know you go everywhere. So anyways, look them up. They're good. How do you overcome the guy in town? Everyone goes, goes. I'm sorry, Levi. I'm not really getting that correction. Oh, how do you overcome the hometown guy that everybody goes with? You become the hometown guy that everybody goes with. That's how you overcome that. And how do you become the hometown guy that everybody goes with? Hey, man, you just got to work yourself in to where you're trusted. You have to work your network. You have to work your referral partners. You know, this is something I teach in the RCO Growth Kit for roofing company owners. But there's a whole list of referral partners. When you sell Mrs. Jones, you know, if say her roof wears out after 30 years, you're in a retail market. It's going to be another 30 years, 25, 30 years before Mrs. Jones needs another roof. And if you're waiting around for Mrs. Jones to get another roof and so that you can make more money and that's all you're doing, you got 25, 30 years to wait. You know, in the Dallas-Fort Worth market where roofs are replaced once every 7 years due to hail, the repeats, the referral business, you know, it comes in pretty quick, especially after a storm. But Mrs. Jones is only going to get her roof replaced once every 7 years. But there are people out there that talk to people on a daily basis who are the first to know if that roof goes bad. And, you know, you can come up with a typical list of those people, you know, home inspectors, realtors, insurance agents. But I've got a list of 10, and I teach my roofing company owners how to develop that network and, you know, build trust with the people that build trust with people. The easiest way to get trust is to be connected with somebody else that has trust. There's a story that I was telling Clint and JoJo this last week about this guy in the early 1900s. He went to one of the richest men in America and he asked to borrow $100,000. And the guy said, "I'm not going to give you $100,000. And I don't even know if this is a true story. I think it is. But the guy went to one of the richest men, and the Rothschild, I think it was his name. He went to the Rothschild and said, "I want to borrow $100,000. I got a great business plan, got a great business idea." He says, "I'm not going to let you borrow that money. But what I will do for you is I'm going to walk arm in arm with you. You know, we're going to connect arms and we're going to walk through the New York Stock Exchange. And you're going to tell me jokes and I'm going to laugh at your jokes and I'm going to laugh. And we'll go sit down and we'll grab some coffee. And then we'll walk back through the New York Stock Exchange." And he says, "Son, I promise you, after they see you connected with me, there's not a single person on the New York Stock Exchange that won't loan you that $100,000. Relationships are trust. If you don't have any trust, Levi, in town, because another guy's getting all the trust, build relationships with people that already have trust, like the Better Business Bureau." Matt Andrews. What's up, Matt? Levi, it's more expensive not to know how to sell than it is to buy your system. That's true. You know, Levi, this was back when I first came out with the core product in Roofing Salesman University. It's called Sales Domination System. Levi drove down from Oklahoma, and we sat in the corner in a Cracker Barrel, and I taught Levi the system sitting there in Cracker Barrel because he wanted to learn it so bad, and I agreed. Normally I don't meet people when they buy my product, but he drove down, and I'm an Oklahoma boy, graduated from Cushing High School, and he's Oklahoma, and his hometown was Chandler, which is just down the road from Cushing. So I said, "Come on down." You know, and he paid for it, and he drove on down. We spent the morning at Cracker Barrel, and then that afternoon we went out in the neighborhood and actually used the system to knock doors. We got to talk to some people. I don't think we got to talk to a lot of people, but, you know, he's used that ever since. Matt Andrews, Mike's worth $1 million plus 2 million more. Oh, dude, thanks, man. Appreciate that, man. We're going to have a great year, aren't we? I'm so excited. So excited about what's going to happen this year, and it's going to be good. Mike Schmidt, what's up? Roderick Smith, it's important to include info about possibility of appraisal during initial contact. I mean, you can if you want to. You know, if you feel like that you're going to have to sell somebody on the idea of going to appraisal, there's 3 times when you can do it. The first time when you can sell somebody on the possibility of going to appraisal is before you have to go to appraisal. The next time you can sell them on the possibility of going to appraisal is at the moment that you realize that you got to go to appraisal. And then the third time that you can sell somebody on going to appraisal is after you realize that you're probably going to have to go to appraisal. Now, of those 3 times, before, at the moment, or after, which time do you think you're going to be most persuasive at convincing somebody to go to appraisal? If you think there's a possibility that you're going to have to take them to appraisal, do you want to convince them, persuade them, influence them of that possibility beforehand, at the moment that you realize that you will have to do it, or do you want to do it afterwards? I'll let you answer that question. Matt says, "Where's Trey? Let's go hunting." Oh, man. You hook up with Trey or Trent, I'm telling you, those boys, they'll take you hunting, and you'll get some stuff. Appraisal's terrible. Matt hates it. Levi, thank you, dude. James Ryerson, how you doing, James? Glad you joined. Wyatt, almost finished. Trey's big church job today. Yeah, man. Half day tomorrow to be finished up. That's so cool, man. The big church job. Congratulations. Wyatt's an ASAP guy, man. One of the hardcore ASAP guys. And Trey's the manager out in Longview, Texas. Runs a great organization out there. Levi Jackson. Levi, man, I see your name all the time here. Josh, thanks so much, Mike. I really appreciate all your words. Yeah, man. So here's kind of the deal with Josh. Josh comes from a roofing background. And, you know, I'm just going to say this out loud, but the problem with coming from a roofing background when you're actually the guy doing the roof or you're the guy inspecting the roof or supervising the roof work is that a lot of times people get it confused where they think because you know a lot about the product of roofing or the technique of roofing or the, you know, the installation procedures about roofing, that automatically translates to the sales of roofing. Roofing and selling roofing are two different things. I think we can all agree on that. And a lot of people say the money's in roofing, and you know, I'll agree up to some point, but you know, at a certain point, the money's not in roofing. The money is in selling roofing. You know, there's shingle yards loaded down with shingles, but nobody sold them. Home Depot, you know, they sit on shingles all winter long because nobody's selling them. The money's not in the product. The money's in selling the product. If you can sell the product, if you can move the product, if you can influence people to buy your product, not because they want granules, but because they want to increase their prestige. You know, one of the emotional triggers, we talk about emotional triggers in Roofing Salesman University, but they want to buy something that makes them feel better about their life. If you can move them to buy something that makes them feel better about their life, that's where the money's at. The money is in selling the product, not in knowing about the product, not so much installing the product, although, I mean, I know a lot of roofers that roll around with $100 bills wadded up in circles in their front pocket. You know, they hit the garage sales on the weekend and they pull out this big wad of money. A lot of those guys have more disposable income than, you know, some of the successful company owners and successful salespeople. I'm not saying you can't make money installing product or supervising that. I'm just saying that even they don't make money until somebody sells something. The money is in selling it, not in knowing how to install it. Brian Martin, join. Hey, Brian. Man, you've been, we've been connected for a long time, Brian. Matt's talking about roofing groups that allow insurance adjusters and contractors in the same groups are killing the insurance game. These groups say they can help you combat the adjuster, and now the adjuster have the ammunition to combat us back, especially the appraisal process. Some of these Facebook groups ruined it. Well, my Aunt Wilma, God rest her soul, she went through the Depression, and she used to have a saying, and it went something like this. That's about like letting the foxes in the hen house. And the reason why they put barbed wire around the hen house is so they keep the foxes out. I'm not saying that all adjusters are bad, all litigation attorneys are bad. I'm not saying that. I've been helped by adjusters and I've been helped by attorneys. I'm just saying that when you're working on opposing sides of a resolution, you may not want to let everybody know your strategy. If you're playing chess with somebody, you may not want them to know all the moves that you're going to make. If you are allowing yourself to telegraph the moves that you're going to make in advance of making those moves, there's a good chance they're going to know how to respond. And unfortunately, you as the contractor, you as the salesperson, you as the company owner, you do not have as much money as the insurance companies do. You know, I've seen insurance companies have preferred partner programs over the years. They come and they go. Oh, we're going to have a preferred partner program so we can, you know, get these roofs done at an affordable price. Or we're going to have an MRP program is the latest thing. And the problem is that the insurance company is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. They're listed on the New York Stock Exchange. They have an unlimited amount of exposure because anybody can go after them. And there's probably not a lot of juries in America if somebody sues the insurance company that the jury isn't predisposed before going in to say, yeah, let's get the big bad insurance company. They have a lot of exposure and they're joining themselves with contractors who are struggling through the winter and can't even keep the lights on at the office, or can't keep their lease space open, or can't pay their crews through the winter. And so how are you going to combine a contractor that can barely make it through the winter with $100 million, $100 billion not $100 billion, but how are you going to combine these two? And the insurance companies have all the liability. They're going to fight. You have to expect them to fight. You have to expect them to use what they know about you against you. I mean, you can be Pollyanna if you want to. We're all in the same game. We're all trying to serve the same customers. But it's like Aunt Wilma says, you let the fox in the hen house, and I guess you deserve what you get there, don't you? I'll give that one a like. Let me give that one a love, Matt. Building relationships always key. Great. Brian Reagan says, one of my clients here in McKinney gets about 50 leads a year by sponsoring events at their kids' elementary school. They've made sure that every parent in the school knows they are roofers and their kids go to school together. That's trust. Right there, that's trust. Trust is the most, after attention. People say time is money, but time's not necessarily money unless you can get attention. And attention isn't necessarily money unless you have trust, because a lot of people can get attention, but they don't have trust. If you're going to get attention, you have to have trust. If you have trust, then you're like a step away from monetizing that and cashing a check. And who do people trust? People trust the people that are closest to them. People trust the people that live in the same neighborhoods as they do. They trust the guys that look like them, talk like them, dress like them. They trust the people that are trusted by people that they trust. If your kids go to school together, that's a built-in trust network. So Brian's giving away some good stuff there. If you need a BBB listing in Dallas, you need to reach out to him. Appraisal's cool, but it takes time and customer that's prepared. Yeah, hey, listen, you don't have $100 million in the bank. And you can't afford to go 6 months, 9 months, 12 months on every customer that you sign. And unfortunately, time is not on your side, especially when you're a contractor and you have cash flow issues. You can max out your ABC Supply credit line. You can max out your credit cards. You can have your crews wait on their jobs, getting paid on their jobs. You can call the mortgage companies every day and tell them to hurry up and get the process moving. But if you have cash flow problems and you can't afford appraisal, because the insurance companies can just sit on your money. They're bigger than you. They got better lawyers than you. They dress nicer than you. They have faster cars than you. Yeah, but it does pay to have cash flow and willing customer. Matt Andrews says, join the RCO. That's right. If you're a roofing company owner and you can prove it. I manage and admin a group on Facebook simply called Roofing Company Owners. And you can use the Facebook search bar, just look for Roofing Company Owners. I'm going to ask you a simple question, a simple little math question, just to prove you're not a bot, and ask you to prove that you actually own the company, where your name matches some kind of verification like your BBB or another way that you can prove you're the owner. We don't let people in unless they own the company, own the branch, or they're married and they own the company together. So join the RCO, Roofing Company Owners, on Facebook. It's a group that I manage, and I have some really good admins and moderators that help me with that. A lot of those guys, you may know that they're longtime industry veterans, but they help me manage that page, including the team from my old roofing sales mastermind. I made all of them moderators, and so they know how I think, and they'll take a look at your application and see if you qualify. And if you qualify, we'll get you in the RCO, Roofing Company Owners Group. Levi says, I installed for 10 years. Sure, and for sure, sales makes more money. Can't install near as fast as you can sell. Good. Roderick, at the moment, but I run into homeowners that think that after denial, there are no options if only awarded repairs. Okay. Matt says, tell them the fox is in the pen. Andy says, by the way, the pictures on top of the roofs are not selfies, they're roofies. Yeah, roofies. Andy and Mike are the guys that do all the roofies. Listen, I don't have a problem with roofies, selfies on the roof. But your job is to get attention and to be trusted in the attention that you get. And once somebody sees you on the roof taking a roofie and they see you 2 or 3 times, they get it. All right, they know you're a roofer. The next time they see that picture, the only thing you're telling them to do is just bypass that because you've already seen that before. People aren't on Facebook to look for things they've already seen before. I mean, think about it. The last time you saw something really funny, you're like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Let me show it to you. And you show your phone to your friend, and your friend's like, you're already seeing that. So they dismiss it. Once we seen you on the roof, we seen you on the roof. But if we're going to see you on the roof holding the taco, wearing your MAGA hat, and rocking a baby to sleep, maybe that's something we haven't seen before. That's new. Maybe that'd be something good. I'm not recommending going on steep roofs with babies, but make us look at something that's new. If you want attention, you got to mix it up a little bit. You got to say new stuff, do new stuff, show up new, be more valuable. Listen, guys, man, I am getting to the end of this, and there's still like a dozen of you on. So I love you. You're wonderful. I want to work with you. If you're a roofing company owner, I want to work with you. If I'm able, if I have the territory open, I'd love to work with you. Or at least I'd like to put you in my online course, RCO Growth Kit. Yeah, it's expensive, but it's 8 weeks, and you work one-on-one with me for 8 weeks. If you have a sales team and you're looking for ways to get them out in the field and get them knocking and making more money, you need a system and process for getting them trained, I'd love for you to join the Roofing Salesman University and get them in that program as well. And if you're just starting out, I got an audio program called Getting Started in Roofing Sales. Some of the biggest roofing salespeople in the nation, guys that do $3 million a year by themselves, have bought this program. It's just an audio training, about 20 audio tracks, and it takes you through what to say at the front door, how to think about your customer, how to pitch, how to price, how to sell, how to get paid. Getting Started in Roofing Sales. You can Google that, and you can also get that as a streaming audio. All right, that's my commercials. I'll take one more check here, see if anybody else is on. And hey, the last guy to comment is my RCO Elite client, Matt Andrews, and that's appropriate. I'm going to end on that. Matt, thank you for letting me go on my soapbox here today. Thank you to everybody that had anything to say. If you've liked this show, hit the like button, the laugh button, the love button, whatever you want to hit there, and just let me know that you appreciate this and you like to see this stuff. And if it's valuable for you, I will put time on my schedule to make sure that I come back and do it again. All right. Make it a great day. Let's end this thing. Here we go. End. Wow, that's a lot of likes. Oh, there's a mad face. Somebody's mad at me. Oh, well.